So today is Wednesday the 29th, and I've not done a video mainly because we've had the storm of all storms. The worst of our damage is this pine tree leaning luckily onto well, it's not lucky, it'd have been better if it had gone. So the pine tree went. It's worried me since we got here because I've been worried that it's going to fall in the house. So our house is here and the tree is here. With it, it's taken two of my compost bins. But there we go, and there's the tree damage. But because it's leaning against another tree, we're waiting for the council to come because it's over the road, so hopefully the council will come. But it's got me thinking a lot about the reasons we moved here and what we expected from things I started learning about in 2020, when 2020 happened. And I know I said in my other video, move through fear, but the fear was really about what they were going to do, what was going to happen to us, and we wanted to be prepared for all that was going to happen. So probably things that are going on in the there's a document called the UK Fires document, which has been read in the House of Lords. So it's not a conspiracy theory, it's a conspiracy fact. It's been read in the House of Lords. It was put together by, I think it was Oxford and Cambridge University. Sandy Adams talks about it a lot. She's amazing. She's from Glastonbury, if you've not heard of her. But their plan is to get rid of, obviously, well, all farms, all meat eating, and all the supermarkets to provide all of their food, to get rid of the airports by 2029. I think there'll be 3 airports left in the UK, and I think by 2050, it might be 2050 then, all will be gone. Might even be sooner than that. So why did we move here? Oh, and the other thing with the storm, this is what I'm getting at. So the storm, we've had no electricity since Friday morning. Sometime it went off Thursday night, Friday morning. So no electricity. And we're quite lucky. Our water stayed. So there's people here still at the moment with no water and no electricity. I don't know if it's to do with the pump, I'm not sure. There's a lady that's been coming into where I'm volunteering. She's got 5 children, and since last Thursday she's had nothing. So we run, most of the things that we run on is the range. So on the range I've got one pot with my hot water for drinking out the filter, and then another one for the pots and things like that. So we have survived. I do all my cooking on it in the winter. We dig our own turf. They obviously want to stop that. So but we're not reliant on electric. The only thing we have is we've got freezers, and the freezers have got all of, clearly, frozen food in it. Sorry. And also all of the rabbits from the season. So we need the freezers. There's obviously other ways, all the canning and things. I just don't know how people have time for canning. But anyway, maybe you do it. Maybe you have well-trained, lots of children, and they do canning for you. I don't know. So we've got the freezers. Now, luckily, we've got a generator. It's just packed in, so my husband's just hopefully gone into town to get a new carburettor for it. But we have, that's mainly what we use. And it's been wonderful. No TV, no phone. I'm recording this. I won't be able to send it until I go up the mountain a bit. I've only been able to get a signal. I've got some Wi-Fi today, actually. And I can get some signal. So the worst thing about it is like losing contact. So yeah, the other no phone at home. So yeah, in some ways it's been wonderful, and it's given me a glimpse into what we moved here for. What most people on our page who have done their research are anticipating to come. How can we be how do we not need to put a hand out to the government and say, please help us? We're in this predicament that you've done, because they openly say there's weather for modification. They openly say it. It's not a conspiracy. So they can change the weather. They either made that storm really bad, or they could have calmed the storm. but obviously they choose not to. And luckily, I think, from what I've heard, only one person died. Clearly really tragic, but only one person died in this storm, and it was really bad. I watched the tree go down, and luckily our goat house stayed up, but there's been a lot of destruction. There's so many trees down, there's so much damage to sheds and houses, and but the first thing that we all checked for was just like neighbours and everyone being safe. Our neighbours just have electric. So one of them, he's our close neighbour, he's even had something else fitted recently, and that's electric. All the new houses in Ireland, and I believe probably the UK, are all electric. They want electric cars, don't they? They want, it's all electric. No log burners. I've just heard today that log burners in Scotland have already been banned. I don't know how they're going to enforce it, but so they've been banned in Scotland. So that's coming down. We've been having fires for centuries, millennia, since the beginnings of time. So they're trying to get us onto electric, but I think this is one good thing, is that for everybody at the moment that has been without electric for nearly a week now, there's no way they want to rely on electric. They don't want to rely on what the government is pushing for them to use, because it's not working. So anyway, so yeah, we've been okay. We've been cooking. Luckily we've been able to charge on. Well, actually, what have we done? I've charged my phone, but I've not really been able to use my phone. So there's some things. We've had torches, but when then batteries run out, we will be able to charge the power packs. But we want to get a diesel generator. And we live in a tiny cottage, so that's the other thing. It's small, you know. If you have a small place to live, it's less to heat, you know. Or I suppose you just go into one room. I don't know what you do if you've got a bigger house. So yeah, it has made me realise that it make you look and think what we have got. What would you do? I mean, and maybe that is a conspiracy that they are going to shut us all down, but it's happening, isn't it? So yeah. So anyway, so that is kind of why we moved, and it's been a little glimpse into the world of what if this gets worse in the future, which we believe it will. And actually, I heard a couple of people this week saying, oh well, they're saying the storms were going to get worse. Well, yeah, they're going to get worse because that's what they're planning. So if the storms are going to get worse and the electric's going to go, what are you all going to do? Are you just going to go along with it because that's what they're telling you, that we're doing it? So, it's down to us, to man, and it's not. It's clearly not. So I think people are speaking it, but they believe that, you know, it's our fault that these weather situations are happening. There's been 3 in the last 12 months that have affected us directly. Back in April, a really bad storm, couldn't take off to go for my mum's 70th birthday. It took us 22 hours to get home, back to England. December, just gone, we were delayed. Flight got cancelled, we had to go the next day. And then this one was really bad. And I suppose as long as everyone you know and your family, your friends, your animals, your house is okay, then that's all that matters. So I'm sure I wanted to cover more things, but I'll get this video out. And yeah, it's a beautiful day here. It's been lovely. It's been really, really lovely since the storm. I'll say this as well, the community here